The morning room, miss.
Thank you. Elinor, my dearest friend. I just felt I had to come and see you. Oh, but before I speak, how is she? Poor dear. Marianne, I mean.
Perfectly recovered, thank you.
Oh, I'm so glad. I'm sure I felt for her dreadfully. One feels so foolish afterwards, doesn't one?
Marianne, fortunately, doesn't seem to suffer in this way.
Well, Elinor, what did you think of last night? Could anything have been more marked than Mrs. Ferrars' treatment of me? I must confess I was quite astonished.
She was certainly most civil to you.
Civil? Did you see nothing more than mere civility in her manner? Oh, Elinor, come now.
If she had known of your engagement, then her treatment of you would have been most significant, certainly. But as she does not.
I guessed you would say that. But there is no reason in the world why Mrs. Ferrars should appear to like me if she didn't. And the fact that she did is everything, is it not?
Yes, it is most important, I agree. You are most fortunate.
But, Elinor, that is not all. Fanny has invited us to stay.
Fanny?
Your sister-in-law. We are to go immediately. In fact, Nancy should be already there. So I shall not be leaving London yet a while, after all. And better still, I shall have many opportunities of meeting my dearest Edward in his own sister's house. Oh, I'm so delighted. I scarcely know what to do with myself, and that's the truth. Why, Elinor, dear, what is the matter? You're not unwell, I hope.
Not in the least, thank you.
She is so charming, is she not, Fanny? And has such elegance. I wonder I had not heard you say so. And Mrs. Ferrars... I must confess, I should not like to get the rough side of her tongue as you did, Elinor, dear. But you must admit she has great distinction of bearing. I don't know when I've ever seen
Here we
such
are, sir.
distinct...
Edward!
I came to see you because I was unable to be at Fanny's. Oh! I'm sorry. I didn't know.
Please. Lucy and you know each other, of course.
Yes.
You may speak quite freely, Edward. Elinor is my very good friend.
Oh.
Won't you sit down?
Yes.
Well, this is a great pleasure. My sister and I often talk of you and your visit to us in Devonshire, Edward.
They didn't tell me below that you had company. Perhaps it would be more convenient if I were to return later.
No, you must stay now that you are here. Lucy and I have quite finished our conversation, have we not?
Oh, quite. I was just telling Elinor that your sister, Mrs. Dashwood, has invited Nancy and me for a visit.
Indeed.
Is that not mighty civil of her? So we shall be seeing quite a lot of each other in the near future, no doubt.
No doubt.
My mother will be most delighted to learn of your visit when next I write, Edward.
Oh, your mother. Of course. Is she quite well?
Extremely, thank you.
Edward, dearest Edward. This makes up for everything. I saw you coming from my window. This is the only good thing that has happened since we came to London.
You look a little pale, Marianne. London is not agreeing with you, I fear.
Don't think of me. Think of Elinor. She is well, as you can see. And that should be enough for both of us. Now, come and sit by me. Oh, Edward, why were you not at Fanny's house last night? Such an agonizing party. If you'd been there, it would at least have been tolerable.
Perhaps he was already committed elsewhere. Not all young men, you know, are so quick to break off an engagement.
Edward has the most delicate conscience and is the most fearful of giving pain of anybody I ever knew.
Oh,
Yes, Edward, it is so, and I will say it. If you're prepared to accept my love and friendship, then you must also be prepared to submit to my praises, too. They're not lightly given.
No, indeed. You can scarcely realize how highly you've just been honored.
I came merely to make my apologies for my absence last night. I won't interrupt your tete-a-tete any longer. I'm sure you young ladies have much you wish to discuss.
What, going so soon, Edward? We can't have this, can we, sister?
I'm sure he is quite free to go when he wishes.
Take no notice of Miss Steele. She surely cannot stay much longer.
Oh, I really must be gone, I'm afraid. If you will forgive me.
Of course.
I think that I, too, must be going, Elinor, dear. Perhaps you'd be good enough to walk me round to your sister's house, if you're going that way.
To my sister's?
Yes. Nancy and I are to be her guests. I've just told you.
I beg your pardon.
Nancy should be there already, but I just had to come and see my dearest Elinor first. We have so much in common, have we not? Eh, you and I? But I hope that we shall be meeting many times in the next few days. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Elinor, how you can stand by and let poor Edward be carried off by such a creature, I do not know.
Poor Edward, as you call him, is quite capable of fighting his own battles. I cannot fight them for him.
La, Mrs. Dashwood, I take it most kind of you that you should treat Lucy and I so civil. I do, really. Oh, and as for your mother, there, what presence, what dignity. And her manner to my sister was most marked, I thought, didn't you, ma'am?
My mother appears to regard Miss Lucy with some favour, certainly. But why should she not?
Oh, no, indeed. And I must say it is most fortunate, is it not, since they are soon to be so closely related. Oh, Lawks, well, what have I said?
Related, Miss Steele? In what way?
Oh, there. Lucy would pinch me for that if she knew. Oh, but since your mother took to her so clearly, well, where's the harm, eh?
You spoke just now of some relationship. What, pray?
Oh, the minute your brother first came to our house, I could see he had no eyes for anyone else. Lord, Lucy, I said, you're a lucky girl to have got yourself such a smart beau as Mr. Edward, I said. For, of course, I could soon see the way things were going.
Miss Steele, are you trying to suggest there is some understanding between your sister and my brother?
Oh, Lord, Mrs. Dashwood, yes. And has been these 4 years, at least.
What?
But Lucy forbade me to speak of it. Well, she's very nice in such matters. I always think a young lady should be, don't you? But since your mother gave it her approval, well, I mean to say...
Out of my house!
What? I'm sorry, I'm afraid I don't understand.
I said get out of my house, the pair of you! I won't have you here, I won't have it! Oh, the shame! The humiliation! Go away! Get out of my sight! I said get out of my sight!
Oh, Lord, Mrs. Dashwood, please!
Oh!
Fanny, my love, what has happened?
Send them